Hello, everyone. This is Jim Okosinski with the Week 2 lecture video. So, in this week's lecture video, I think I'm going to begin here in Gene Twangy's article about smartphones and Gen Z. Everybody did a really good job on the initial post. I went through and I graded everything that was submitted. If you're still waiting or missing some responses, you have until Sunday for those, so I might not have graded your post. But basically, everybody followed the pattern here about Twangy's background and qualifications, what our argument is, and also do you agree or disagree, and directly responded to that. So that was a really good start to interacting with that article. Now, one thing I do want to point out is I want to get to Lukyanov and Heitz is our next post that is due on Friday. Their article is a bit different, but there are many commonalities between the two articles about Generation Z and some of the concepts that they talk about. See if you can locate the similarities and the connections between those two articles. Much like the discussion board number 2, I'm looking for some Lukyanov and Heitz background and qualifications. You might have to define to some of the terms and phrases used in an article. They use a little bit more elevated language where, Twangy's article, she uses a lot of statistics and studies. I realize there's one interview there, which is one student made a comment about it not being very reliable. But this is actually just for an article. This article kind of led into a book. Dr. Twangy's wrote a book, so there is more support. I mean, remember now this is an article for The Atlantic. But Lukyanov and Haidt in their article, The Coddling of the American Mind, use a lot of kind of specific terms and phrases. So you might have to look up a few and kind of parse that article out a little bit more. It's a little bit more complex, especially when I start talking about CBT and some of the other consequences of their discussion. So, please take some time and work with the vocabulary there. So I'm asking you about their argument, the same thing. What kind of evidence do they use to support it? You'll find that even though they relate to a lot of complex topics, they use quite a bit of anecdotal evidence to support their argument. So you can be aware of that. And then ultimately, once again, I want you to respond. Do you agree and or don't agree? So I want everybody to basically, it's the same pattern. Some people have already posted for that particular discussion board post at 3. Now, Art of Summarizing is due next week, and all of these will lead into our first essay assignment, which is the critical thinking essay. I like my critical thinking essay at the beginning of the semester. It gives me an idea how everybody works with source material and how we all summarize and quote and kind of like respond to some of the words of others, really is what it is. So I say here in the critical thinking essay, after reading and discussing Twangy and Lukyanov and Height's articles, write a 3 to 4 page, this is going to be a 1,000-word essay continuing the conversation about the current state of Generation Z community. I'll touch on the discourse community and Gen Z a little bit later, probably in next week's lecture video. But the essay is this is a little bit different, so I want you to please pay attention to the structure here. So I say your essay should accomplish the following. Begin your essay with a short summary of each article, capturing the main points. That's what I'm asking you to summarize each article. No introduction required or wanted. Don't waste time telling me all of this abstract notions of smartphones or about, how people lack resilience nowadays. I don't want that. I want to go right into 2 summaries. Short summary, I say maybe a decent paragraph for each one, and then launch yourself into the response portion. So I say, after your opening summaries, respond to both articles and their arguments. Do you agree? Disagree? And I want to know why. If you want to grab some evidence from the articles, that would be great, right? Review your reading notes in the discussion board post and responses. Even grab what other people are saying to help generate some thought on this. Support your critical thinking with evidence from the information provided in the articles. Okay, I'm not asking you for any outside sources, as I say here. This is not some sort of a research essay. This is a summary response essay. Tell me your thinking. All right. One thing I want to warn everybody. This is in relation to critical thinking essay is your thoughts into the two articles. Please do not drift off into a tangent about you and your life and social media and have that dominate the essay. I can assure you that will not grade well. I want you to wrap your thinking around the words of Twenge and Lukianoff and Haidt. All right. MLA guidelines for setup of the document is stated in the syllabus. This is worth 100 points. Okay, we'll get into the submission aspect of this as we move forward. Okay, how to upload the GDoc link, much like everybody did with the syllabus and Google Drive exercise. All right, so please, this is the critical thinking essay. Everything that we do in the discussion boards is going to lead into that. Let me get here. Okay. Even we'll work on discussion board number 4, the art of summarizing that one article there. We'll turn around and talk about how to summarize and write some extended summary, because we're going to be working with 3 concepts. Summarizing, paraphrasing, and quoting this semester and using the words of others. All right. And this, I believe, is due next week. So if you have any questions, send me an email. Look for your normal screencast video sometime on Sunday night. But I thought I'd spend a little time talking a bit about the 2 articles and then also the critical thinking essay. You might want to read through that and kind of wrap your brain around that assignment, and I'll review that before it is due, the week before it is due next week. All right. All right. Good luck. Stay safe.